What's up, guys? Coach Cam back again with another video. This time it's upper body, starting off here with semi-supinated chin-ups, and added 65 pounds here, trying to get kind of in that 5 to 8 rep range, and for the set to take kind of between 30 seconds to a minute, wanting to train the muscles as hard as possible with as little fatigue as possible. I said this in my last videos as well, how I used to try to train for my sets to take a minute 20 to a minute and a half. Turns out that just generates a lot more fatigue with about the same exact stimulus as doing it for like 45 seconds. So aiming for less time, still training as hard as possible, and getting to use heavier weights. So that's kind of fun to just use a little bit heavier weights. This is 70-pound dumbbells for like low incline bench. And I can confirm it is a little bit harder to do dumbbell press with the power blocks because of the 2.5 pound cylinders that are at the top of the dumbbell. It kind of makes the weight a little bit unbalanced compared to just straight dumbbells. You'll see here in a few seconds when I go for my final rep, I really grinded out and I couldn't finish it. But I think right here, if they weren't so unbalanced, I probably would have gotten that rep because it was just kind of top heavy. You kind of have to try it to know what I'm saying. Anyway, next here is seated cable rows. I'm not sure exactly how much weight I put on there, but did a few reps here before I reached failure. Keep training as hard as you can. Document. I track the time of my sets. I track the reps, the weight. Sometimes I even write in like half reps in case, I get 6.5 and next time I get 7. Here is single arm tricep push downs. I actually use the strap of my weighted dip and pull up belt to be like a single arm handle here. That worked pretty good actually. So that's not listed as one of the uses of this, but I didn't have anything better in my home gym, so went ahead and used it and it worked out really well. I was really surprised how little weight I had to put on the stack for this, but also that whole bar that holds the weights on my rack there is also like 10 pounds. So that itself, if you actually accounted for that, it would weigh, around 7 to 10 pounds. So that explains why I only had to put on like 10 pounds of weight to do this. Same thing here on the left side. Trying to stand a little bit further back from the pulley just so I can not recruit extra like chest and shoulder muscles. Some people do triceps and they just stand right over top of the cable and just press it straight down. And I think a lot of times they're using chest and shoulders to do that. I'm just trying to focus on elbow extension. Also, I need you guys to go ahead and comment below if you want my videos to be vertical like this or normal YouTube style being horizontal. I know I have some viewers that watch it like on a television it's showing me, so if that's you, comment below because I like filming the video vertically, but if you guys really want it horizontal, I can make that happen. Next up is single arm dumbbell curls. Honestly, I used to think single arm, single leg, everything was a joke. But until I tried this, wow, I mean, this is really something. I'm already using 35-pound dumbbells here, getting the same reps that I would get with 30s sitting down with both arms. So I'm not sure how that works, but using one arm, you just focus so much more on that one muscle that you're training, and it really does make a difference on the stimulus and then on your progress over time. So being able to progress is the key to this whole thing. So once you get your technique dialed in and you know how to activate the muscle you're trying to train and push hard when the set gets hard, that's the key. But secondarily, you have to make progress over time and be lifting more weight. I mean, you could just say, okay, you have to lift more reps, but at some point you have to add weight too, because you can't just do reps for infinity. It's going to make you too tired. You got to add weight at some point. You need to be lifting heavier over time. So far, training like this has actually allowed me to do that and allowed me to even train more often. So I train about once every like 3 to 4 days, give or take, whenever I'm like have time and I feel ready to go. I can schedule it into my life, but I would highly recommend trying single arm, like especially like biceps, triceps, delts work. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can actually add weight and just attack the muscle and get that stimulus straight to the muscle you're trying to train. When I was younger, I didn't even believe in I didn't believe in isolation exercise. I was hearing from other YouTubers and people online like, "Oh, you only need compounds, bro. Like, you should just be doing the major compound lifts." And so for the longest time, I would do pull-ups and I would try to look at my arms and see if my arms were growing, because at the time, plenty of like body weight calisthenic YouTubers were saying they built their arms off of just pull-ups and rows. Like, and I was like believing them, and I was trying it myself and it was not working. And you know, I'm a firm believer now in train all the muscles of your body and definitely isolate the muscles that you want, that you're afraid the compounds aren't fully producing growth in. Don't be afraid to go ahead and hit them with isolation or simple exercises that just target them directly and make progress on that, because then you know you're getting the stimulus to that muscle. You know, my pull-ups could increase, but that doesn't mean my biceps grew. Like, not necessarily. I might just gotten better at pull-ups. There's a neurological component to exercise that most people don't consider, and it's a huge game changer, because if you realize, okay, someone's really good at pull-ups because they practice pull-ups, like your body gets better at that movement pattern. And that's important when it comes to pull-ups, running, CrossFit, like whatever it is, doing the exact movements under the very, very similar conditions that you're going to be tested on is how you show that you're fit and ready. So that can be interesting, like kind of a conundrum there, because people will try to measure your fitness based off very specific activities, like what's your 5K time or how many pull-ups can you do. But there's certain body types of people that are not going to have a good 5K time, and they're not going to have a good amount of pull-ups they can do. It doesn't mean they're weak. It just means their leverages aren't built for that. Like, I'm literally built to be a gymnast. I'm freaking small. I'm 5'7", and I weigh 165 right now. Like, gymnasts weigh like 30 pounds less than me, and they're shredded. Like, so don't be surprised if I can do more pull-ups than you. But if you're like a giant monster, I'm not going to be surprised that you can like push a truck up a hill, and I probably can't do that. So everyone has different strengths, weaknesses. You can still be fit if you challenge your muscles directly, properly, which should be getting you cardiovascular gains along with your muscle size and strength. So like, share, comment, and subscribe.